Hi everybody, how you doing? Jo here. Thanks so much for popping in again. Another start to another wonderful week. Now, we are going to do a calendar page today, and the calendar page is for July. So I'm just going to bring this in over the top just to show you where my inspiration comes from. And at the base of the page, we've got this lovely design that Tracy's added with the Gaggle of Geese. So the design I'm going to create on here will be using the Gaggle of Geese. But I wanted to show you, as always, that it can be used for card making. Now, as you know, normally I test the design on a piece of card that fits the area where I'm going to do my stamping. So I would have a piece of card this sort of size. But I'm aware that a lot of you do smaller cards and that postage is a premium, which is fair enough. You know, I feel exactly the same. So what I wanted to show you is that this is the design I'm going to create, but I'm going to have more white space on my calendar page. But just to show you, the design can be used. So this is a 6x6 card and envelope. And again, great for a man's card. I mean, I've added quite a lot of Stickles, the glitter glue here, but again, you could leave that off. And I've purposely left it without a sentiment, so I think this could be a birthday card. You could alter the colours slightly if you need a condolence card, and unfortunately at times we do need them. But you could also have it for a get well card, lots and lots of different occasions. But for the card makers out there, and I know not everybody's doing the calendars, but I know you like to join along with me. So, as I say, this you can make into a lovely card or a journal page. And as always, look, I've decorated the envelope, permanent ink and Posca, which dries permanently. So I'm just going to move this out of the way. And I'm going to get my calendar page ready. Now, you know me, I'm just going to put some copy of paper underneath where I'm going to do my design. Two things. For me, it adds extra cushioning, which I just like, and that's just me. But also it stops me going over the edge with ink onto the pages below. Now, just for those of you who are interested, at the base, I stamped my butterfly in the VersaFine Clair, the Morning Mist, just so it matched that lovely grey tones of the printing. And often what I do at the base is just use second generation of whatever I've used at the top with first. But I thought the Morning Mist actually went lovely for this. Now I've got a piece of copy of paper which I've folded in half. And I'm just going to put that at the bottom just to protect my work. And again, gives me something to lean on. And I just want to, I'm just taking it down a little bit. I know you can't see. I've just folded it over at the base, just so that I can see. I wanted to see the names of the weeks here, just so I get an idea where to stamp. Because first of all, I'm going to stamp this lovely Gaggle of Geese. And I'm going to use my black, my VersaFine Clair. So that's the Nocturne. And I must admit, don't judge me on this stamp. It's one of my older, well-loved stamps. So it's not quite as in a pristine condition as many other ones. It's quite interesting when you have a look, isn't it? The difference between. So I'm thinking this is going to be my main focal point. So I'm thinking about here. That's what they call a guesstimate. So we're going to guess where it is, estimate it, put the two together and get a guesstimate. I love words like that. So any of you that don't like messing with English or language, I'm very sorry. I'm a bit of a silly person with language. But again, it doesn't do for us all to be the same, does it? So I'm just going to give that a couple of seconds just to soak in. It's a big stamp and it's a silhouette, so plenty of ink on there. Lift that up. Not stamped quite as well as I would have liked, but as I say, this is one of my older stamps, and I've got to be honest, it probably does need a clean, but it's not a problem because we're going to add white pastel pencil on there. So that's not a problem at all. Now, what I want to do is add some of the lovely woodland fern at either side. So I'm just going to take a spare piece of copy paper and just give it a little bit of a tear. I'm just going to move you slightly. And the forest fern has got woodland fern, sorry, has got two lovely stamps, a larger one and a smaller one. So I'm going to come in with the larger one first and use the verdant. And I just want the copy paper because I almost want to follow this lovely little base we've got here. And I just want to bring the ferns. And I'm just going to use some first and second generation look. And we'll do the same here. And again, just at this side. So I'm adding the green first. And then that will go almost to the back of the design. So I just want some foliage in front. So with the smaller fern and the black, the nocturne. Got a little bit on my block there, so I'll just get rid of that. And again, just to bring that to the foreground. And I'm doing first and second generation, and don't worry, I'm going to put some pastel pencil there to finish that off beautifully. It's all part of building it up. So again, we'll just put this here and come in with 1, 2, 3. Yeah, and I don't want to come right to the edge. I want a little bit of white space. And I'm just going to give that a bit of a blot. And we'll get rid of that. So that's what we've got so far. And I want to add that lovely large sort of sun behind. So from our acetate circle masks. And when you decide where you want this, I almost want my geese to almost spotlight them as well. So I think I'm going to put it near, so the heads are sort of in the middle there. Now when it comes to colours, so I'm going to use the elements for this. And I've gone for 3 colours. We've got Sundance, Russet Orange, and then some Emperor Red in the middle. So what I'm going to do, and again, I always say this with the lovely calendars, they are large, so don't have a lot of space. But as you know, I like to use the lids. So I'm sorry my hand keeps coming in front. I'm just going to take the lid off each of our lovely inks. And I'm going to start with the yellow. So all I'm going to do, look, is dab my stencil brush in the yellow. And then pop it in the lid. Just to start that blending process. And then just want to blend some on my mask. My yellow's quite a strong colour at times. You tend to get to know your ink pads. There we go, so that's blended nicely. And when you first put your brush on, you can get it stronger. So that's nice. So I'm just going to pick that ink up from there. And again, be mindful not to go off the edges. I'm going to pick up a little bit more from the lid. Now, you could leave that like that if you wanted to highlight the middle and just leave it white. But we're going to come in with some orange now. So, again, into the lid. Now, I'm going to start in the middle with my orange. And then blend out, only because when I first put my brush down, I get stronger colour because I've just inked up. And if I put it here, I may get lines. So I find if I put it in the middle and blend out, I'm going to get a much better result. Can you see? So I'm going to do that once more. So in the lid, just circular motions, look, just to get that blending on the end of your brush. And then in the middle, I'm going to come out to sort of about there. And then what I'll do is come back with my yellow and just go back over to blend that edge. But I don't think it needs any. I'm happy with that. Now, lastly, the Emperor Red. Strong colour. So I've gone down to number 3 brush for this. Again, look at it in the lid. Wow, that is strong colour. So I'm going to go in the middle now and just slightly add, just roughly, that red look. Now, yes, as you know, that's strong. So I'll come in with my, just with my orange. Just checking which lid. I'm liable to put my brush in the wrong lid. Not concentrating. And I just want to blend that edge a little bit more. And just blend it till you're happy with it. And I'm just going to use the ink that's on the beautiful card. The ink blends so well on here. So I'm happy with that. I think that's a lovely glow. And if I just lift that off, yeah. So what I'm going to do is put the lids, and again, just take a minute to check I've got the right lid on the right ink pad. Because have you ever done that? Put the wrong lid on. Or is that just me? And I just want to add a little bit of faux bleaching. So I don't want it on the rest of the card. So I'm just going to get my fan brush, just that's in the water, and we'll just add a little bit around. And if you're not happy with your blending, this is a great way of hiding any mishaps. But I just think it adds to that lovely texture. And I'm just going to wipe, again, just a damp cloth, and then my inky binky just to dry. I always think it's important to just dry things, clean things as we put them away. Just keeps it nice and clean and tidy. Now we've got a lovely set of butterflies, and there's 4 on this look. Beautiful little set this. So I'm going to stamp my butterfly, and I'm going to add this in the black. So I'm thinking we'll just pop this up here. And I love this white space. I don't know if it's me, but it almost looks a bit oriental. I don't know whether that's just with the sort of sun. The colour's the orange, I don't know. So what we're going to do now is, as I say, add a little bit under here. So I'm going to come in with my lovely pastel pencils. So I've got them out ready, but just to show you. So these are my lovely soft pastel pencils. And as you know, I file them on the floor next to Eric, who is happily fast asleep, so hopefully he'll stay asleep. And I'm just going to add a little bit of black, just for shadow, and just to tie the whole thing together, look. So I think you won't be able to tell that we'd added those. And then with the green, just want to add a little bit of green under where the foliage is, just to bring that colour down a little. And then where the sun is, I'm just going to add some orange. Just sort of a little bit of shadowing. And I'm just going to add the grey in between, just to start that lovely blending process. And then biodegradable cotton bud. Just going to smudge. It's pastel pencil, so the smudging will fix it, but also it will just, I think, makes it look that bit nicer. Just a gentle little blow. And I'm just smudging side to side, right across. So I'm happy I've got that shadow, but that hint of colour. And then I've got the white here, just to add a little bit of highlights and just a little bit of shape to my geese. So here, where we've got the wings, look, just going to add a little bit to the wing. And it's up to you. You can use gel pen for your highlights. And again, I'm just going to add that shape there, a little bit of a smudge. But again, just to bring the shape in, look, and just to highlight those wing feathers. And again, you can add as little. Now, if you want to actually colour these geese, I think you could have your grey lag geese as your Canada geese. I'm just leaving them as silhouettes with a little bit of shape for me. But again, that's the beauty of stamps. Your design, you can colour them. These are just magical geese. Right, I'm not going to faff too much. A little bit of highlight. But what I do want to add around the geese with my lovely, so this is the glaze pen, and it's the lovely yellow. Just want to add, and I'm just going to turn it round. Just going to outline them, just to make them stand up and sort of stand proud a little bit more. Now, again, you could use white for this if you wanted. I just feel the yellow for me looks nice against this beautiful sun and this huge sunset. And I love the way this pen dries. This is what happens when I go to Lavinia. I find all these lovely things that I miss on the website, and then I buy them, and then I just have to keep playing with them. So I'm just going to turn that round and just add a little bit here. And I'm only doing it where we've got our lovely sun behind them. So that's the thing, you have to be mindful. Stop, don't keep going. But if I lift that up, I'm not sure if you can actually see. And I love that. It's that lovely sort of highlight and reflection. Now, I want to add a bit of glitter. So I'm going to come in with my lovely Stickles. Now, as you know, for me, Stickles can be a little bit rude. So I just tend to, it can spit at my work. I don't know about you. Sometimes when I put it on, it comes up a bit clumpy and like that. Did you hear that? It spits. Now, this is the lovely sea foam. But I've kept one of my empty Wink of Stella brushes, and it's my Stickles brush. So I find I just put some on an acrylic block, look, and I can just paint with it. And also I can get a lovely fine line and get the Stickles, the lovely glitter glue, exactly where I want it. I also find for me, because I'm a bit thrifty, my Stickles will last longer. And it goes on a little bit sort of thinner, not clumpy, so it dries quicker as well. And that's useful if you're in a rush, or if you're somebody like me who tends to make things last minute. And I'm just going to put a little bit, and I just think it adds that nice detail in that green there. A bit more there. And as I say, I can put it exactly where, and it will last so much longer. Very useful tip when you start doing those Christmas cards. And I know a lot of you've started already. And the block, I just give a little wipe with my damp cloth, dry it with my Inky Binky, and that's fine to be used again, my lovely acrylic plate. So, last little finishing touch, some of the yellow Posca sparkle. I love this glittery pen, so I'm just going to add a few just round where the lovely ferns are. Right round, just here and here. And then just where the butterfly is. And it just takes that whiteness off the card for me. And just to show you, at the base, I added some lovely little Posca splats here. So that now adds that continuity. So we've got that lovely cohesive design. Now I need one of my beautiful sentiment stickers. And I had a look before, and there's one that says keep moving forward. And I thought that was perfect for this, because I think these geese, they always have a, I was going to say top dog, but a top goose, don't we, that's in charge. And when they fly in a V shape, so that there's always that one that's at the front. So I think these are keeping moving forward, following. That's obviously the leader. Now it's where to pop it. So I'm thinking here, I love this diagonal line here. So I think, but also keep moving forward, I think is lovely for a calendar, because July, that's the month I need to just keep at it, keep moving forward. Sometimes in life we have little hiccups, don't we? And we just need to be reminded, just keep going. So if I take my copy paper out, so there's our design at the top. And there is the whole page, if you can sort of see it. And I love that white space on here. Quite different to last month. But that's what I like. Each month is so different. And again, I'll just bring in, being mindful not to put this on top of that Stickles glitter. There's our lovely card. An envelope. Just to show you can do it on a 6x6 card design. So I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope it gives you some inspiration. I mean, think of all the other animals. You know, if you know somebody who's into, I mean, we've got Halloween makes coming up. You've got the lovely wolves. They would look lovely silhouettes against the sun. Or turn it into the moon. Have them howling at the moon. Honestly, so many possibilities. So you take care. I'm off now. Extra little coffee break, I think. Even my grandchildren, we went to soft play the other week, and they said to Danielle, their mum, they said, we'll have to get Grandma a coffee. Grandma does like a coffee. Even they know what I'm like. So you take care. Thanks for popping in. Love and hugs from me. Bye for now.